Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the Euroman Movie Report, the show where I talk about a movie I have recently watched at my local movie theatre. This week I'm going to talk about the long-awaited live-action Aquaman. Aquaman being part of the DC universe, and this Aquaman here being part of the DC EU. It has been interesting to follow the development of this film, especially because most of the DC EU films have had a very bumpy development ride, and we don't even know if there are gonna be any more DC EU films after the release of Shazam next year. But anyway, Aquaman, starring Jason Momoa, directed by James Wan, is a really good film, and it's as good as the trailers portray it. We get a backstory regarding Aquaman, aka Arthur Curry, that we're told that his father, played by Tamara Morrison, you know, Boba Fett, he's a lighthouse keeper in Maine in the mid-1980s, and one night during a terrible storm he goes out onto the pier next to his lighthouse, and there's this blonde woman lying on the rocks with an injury to her stomach. And how often does that happen? You know what I mean, guys. And that turns out to be the Queen of Atlantis, Atlanta, played by Nicole Kidman. And Tamara Morrison, being the gentleman that he is, he carries Nicole Kidman into the house, and yeah, there's a very satirical scene when she wakes up. She's very surprised of seeing his dog, and she takes one of his little goldfish and eats it. That's very funny, but eventually they bond, and then presto, she's pregnant with his child, and that child, of course, becomes Arthur Curry. As a scene in the trailers, or more precisely a clip, the house is later attacked by Atlantean stormtroopers, and she defeats them, but then she travels away, and then we see that Arthur, he grows up, and he's bullied by two older kids, and then we see the aquarium scene from the trailer where he's able to control all the fish, and then he is suddenly an adult, Jason Momoa, and then there's the scene from the trailer where we see a sub being attacked by black clothed pirates, and in that scene, we are introduced to the guy who becomes Black Manta. And then, of course, the movie shows the whole Atlantean political scene. Atlantis being led by none other than Patrick Wilson, who plays the character of Ocean Master, who is, of course, one of the main villains besides Black Manta in the Aquaman part of the DC universe. And Patrick Wilson, he does a good job playing this arrogant asshole, and we are introduced to the several sub-kingdoms of Atlantis, and there's even one kingdom of crab people. South Park reference, and some of them look like seahorses in their faces, but others look like humans. I must say the CGI in this film is really good, and especially when we are introduced to Atlantis for the first time. I didn't watch this movie in 3D or 4DX. I watched in 2D because I'm being a poor teacher. But I can imagine that it looks great in 3D and even better in 4DX. And the acting in general, Jason Momoa, Nicole Kidman, Tamara Morrison, and all the others. I just have to look them up here. Have my phone in one hand, and just have to look at here. Amber Heard, who plays Mera, she does a okay job. Willem Dafoe, playing the character of Volko, does a good job too, even though his role is very small. Patrick Wilson, as I mentioned earlier, as King Orm, he's good at playing a villain. And of course there's a cameo by none other than Ivan Drago himself, Dolph Lundgren, who plays one of the kings of the Atlantean sub-kingdoms. His character's name is King Neros, and the guy who plays Black Manta, Yahya Abdul Matan II, he's good at playing a villain too. And all the other characters, they do a good job, and James Van's directing is great, and it's even like that in some aspects of the origin story of Aquaman. He plays homage to Man of Steel, because Clark in Man of Steel is bullied as well, and it's like James Wan is trying to make the movies fit together with the other DCEU movies, and if they're gonna scrap the rest of the DCEU after Shazam, it's a bit of a shame, because then they attempt to attach this to the current DCEU, that would have been wasted. So I hope they continue the DCEU with the same actors. But it's a long movie, over 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I must say it really flies, because the acting is good, and the CGI is good, the story is good. So you don't get, I have to look on my phone because this movie is so long and so boring. But it's not boring. It's great directed, great acted, and very entertaining. And especially the final battle sequence, which we have seen in the final trailer, with the the giant monster in the back is of course the Kraken, and here's a spoiler, of course, that once Arthur he obtains the trident, he is able to control the Kraken, so he can release the Kraken. And I must say that Amber Heard, she looks really good in her outfit, and she's very beautiful, so she was very well casted for this film. And I must say that Nicole Kidman, she looks really good for her age. The de-aging in the beginning of the film, because obviously they de-aged her like they attempted to de-age Tamara Morrison. It didn't really work so well with him. But with Nicole Kidman, it looked really good. So all in all, if I'm going to rate Aquaman, I will give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. That's it, Euroman of Euroman's Movie Report. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you liked this review/movie talk, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch my previous reviews/movie talks, you can click the link in the description, which will take you to a playlist of previous reviews/movie talks. I will return next weekend with a review of that time of Creed 2. But until then, have a pleasant weekend, or what's left of it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.